It's Sunday, April 7th. I'm near Dallas, Texas, at my friend Jason's house in his driveway, and we're going to replace the sway bar actuator for the automatic sway bar disconnect on my Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Now, this was donated by my friend James in Florida, who is adventure use only on Instagram and YouTube. So thank you, James. This has been broken for weeks now, maybe over a month, so well past due. Before we bolt anything up, we're gonna plug the new piece into the wiring harness and just see how it works.
Woo! Very cool. Whoa, look at that.
Alright, this worked nicely, so all that's left is to bolt it up. And we also learned a little bit about how this thing actuates too, so pretty cool.
I don't know if you can smell that, but I apologize.
Oh, it's quite alright.
There we go.
What was that? You ready?
Yep.
Alright, we have a solid light.
We have a disconnected sway bar.
Good, good.
There we go.
Alright. Cool. Fast forward to Saturday, April 13th. My electronic sway bar disconnect is working well, thanks to my friends James and Jason. And this past week I passed through Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, and Corpus Christi. I'm on my way to South Padre Island on the southern tip of Texas. I've always wanted to see what's there. I know it's a vacation and a spring break destination, but I think I'm gonna head to the coast, maybe spend some time on the beach. Alright, I'll tell you my expectation for South Padre Island. I knew it was a destination within city limits, but I hoped that traveling north along the coast, I would find secluded, primitive experiences on the beach. Well, I'm at a beach access, and there is currently a long line of vehicles to get in. So, I don't know, it's Saturday, it's in the wake of spring break. Maybe I came to the wrong place. We'll see. We're not off to a strong start. This wasn't quite the experience that I hoped for. First, I have a hard and fast rule never to drive through salt water. So I go through the booth, I pay $12, pull onto the beach, and the first thing I encounter is a wall of cars to my left and children playing in the surf to the right, and nowhere else to go but through the water. So I left. I bailed from the beach, and now I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll figure that out. First, I'm absolutely famished, which is hindering my ability to be cool and to think clearly. I don't think where I am is a problem as much as it is the time of year that I chose to come here. The beach continues for several miles, and in theory, after a mile or two, I could be past all the traffic and the crowds and have the experience that I want. When it comes to driving in the water though, no. I feel like I need to get to a car wash. Alright, I have a plan. Those of you familiar with South Padre Island probably knew what I was getting into. What do you do if your gut tells you you're in the wrong place? The options were to camp there at the end of the road, just pop the camper at the side of the road, to give it another go and drive through the water on the beach again, or the third option, which I think is the one that I'm going to pursue, is drive back up to Corpus Christi and then tomorrow morning head south onto Padre Island National Seashore. What's 200 miles here and there? Pirate ship. I'm at Pirates Landing in Port Isabel. It caught my eye as I was leaving South Padre Island. Here, check this out. It's Saturday night and it's almost midnight. I just finished driving 200 miles from South Padre Island up to Port Aransas, Texas, which is near Corpus Christi. I'm camped on the beach, and I stayed here before I started recording this week. You have to buy a permit, and it's $12. It lasts for the remainder of the calendar year, and once you have the permit on your windshield, you can camp anywhere along this stretch of beach, and there's plenty of room. There's porta-johns, there's trash cans, and you're right on the ocean. The only downside is you might find a nice quiet spot and someone could pull in next to you and throw a party. So it's very popular, but it's worth it for a quick and easy place to set up camp. After cereal, I'm going to drive a short distance to the south to Padre Island National Seashore and see if it's safe to camp there for a couple nights. If the tide's too high, I'm not going to do it. I just had a wonderful experience at the visitor center at Padre Island National Seashore. I went in, told the rangers that I was looking for a primitive camping experience on the beach. I described my equipment, and in turn they gave me a tide chart, recommended a couple of mile markers where I would be safe if I was caught at high tide, and they encouraged me to continue my journey. Said that they recommend the experience around the 55 and 60 mile markers. That's 60 miles of beach one way, so that'll be interesting. The beaches that I have experience with on the Atlantic seaboard are typically much wider. So that's the biggest issue here. The tide fluctuates a lot and the beaches aren't that wide to begin with. So that's what you have to pay very close attention to be safe. I have less than 3 hours before high tide, so let's get on with it. This is creamy dumplings with chicken and vegetables, and I added some burnt bread to give it my signature touch of fail and despair. I made it down as far as mile marker 47, but the tide was too high and I would have had to have driven through surf in order to continue. I don't do that. No exceptions. It's like a death sentence for your junk. Except for yesterday, that was an exception, but I was stuck in traffic and there was no way to turn around. "47-mile mark. Tide is even out a little bit and it was still a tight fit between the dunes and the surf. This is the southern end of Padre Island National Seashore. 60 miles, one way. The beach. I love it. This is eggs, spinach, lemon pepper, shredded Mexican cheese on a sandwich. Still not beautiful, but probably one of my better concoctions. I'm going to seize the opportunity to take the kayak out for a float on the Port Mansfield Channel, which is right over there. There might be some surf and some tide, so I'm not taking my proper camera. After I get in the water, it's going to be all iPhone video. It got really shallow. I seem to have come to a dead end. Because the water stops over there. we've got an island. This is a really interesting salt-encrusted landscape. I was expecting to be paddling over here, but yeah, that ain't happening. So I'm gonna work my way back to the kayak. I went off for a little walk, and then back to the Jeep. Probably a few miles left. Back in the water, I have about 2 miles to go to get back to the Jeep, and the wind picked up. So this is gonna be interesting. Probably gonna get wet. Taking a breather. Maybe half a mile to go back to the Jeep. It is over there somewhere. Sorry about that. I have the complexion of a bar of ivory soap. I don't know if I should take my shirt off more often to get more sun, or leave it on all the time as to not offend. I don't have much in the way of kindling, so I'm gonna have to load up with a newspaper. There is inevitably sand on this hot dog. Beach campfires are the best. It's Monday night, and this has been exactly the beach experience that I've been hoping for. It's primitive, it's remote, it's beautiful. I've had the beach mostly to myself, however there have been a few visitors during the day, and I'm sharing it with a couple other campers right now. But I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow. Today I got a lot of sun. The top of my feet feel burnt, and my arms and legs are kind of feeling it too. Not to mention the sand. When you camp on the beach, you just kind of have to embrace it because it's going to get everywhere. So tomorrow morning I think I'm going to head out, although I'm not quite sure where yet. I'll figure that out tomorrow. My whole body hurts this morning. Time for coffee. It's 9:30 a.m. and I'm working my way north along the Padre Island National Seashore, the 60-mile stretch of beach. My plan today is to get a shower, put on deodorant, maybe find a place to grab a bite to eat. I've been craving some seafood. I wonder why. And then maybe spend the night at Port Aransas, just because it's 80 miles away and I know it's a great place to sleep, so I won't have to hustle to find another place. One unfortunate truth about Padre Island National Seashore is that the beach is lined with trash. Not unlike this creepy baby doll head. It's not stuff that visitors brought, it's stuff that's washed ashore over time, and there's a lot of it. I already filled one trash bag myself, and I did see other visitors doing the same. Not sure how much of a difference it's gonna make, but every little bit helps. Don't let the trash situation discourage you from visiting. In fact, visit more. It's a beautiful section of coast. The water is clear and emerald colored. I had a great time in the surf yesterday, and the campfire last night was perfect. Back in Port Aransas, I'm looking for a bite to eat.
Lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion, and tartar sauce.
Okay, I'll go with a basket.
The shrimp basket?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm at the back porch bar, and I got food from Harbor Light Seafood and Grill. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. It's Tuesday night and I'm back on the beach in Port Aransas, and it's solely for utility. I made an appointment to get the Jeep serviced on Thursday in the Houston area. So tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm going to start heading in that direction and find a place to camp. I found a few hits on freecampsites.net. Just going to have to go and do some research and see how they work out. It's Wednesday morning and I'm going on a short ferry ride across Aransas Pass back to the mainland. That was a very short ferry ride, and to my surprise, it was free. At the Treehouse Cafe in Magnolia, Texas, for a bite to eat. What a cool cafe in Magnolia, Texas. I found this on Yelp. Beautiful lakeside campsite in Houston National Forest. I haven't seen Spanish moss in a while. A friend of mine introduced me to spinach. I put it on my sandwiches now. It tastes great. National forests in Texas. Spanish moss, lush greenery. I'm happy to take a break from the sand for a little bit. It's Wednesday night, and according to my weather app, I have some storms rolling in, so things might be a little bit interesting by morning. But for now, I'm going to settle in and watch some Netflix. It's Thursday night, and I went into town this morning to run some errands, and then came back to Houston National Forest. I'm by the lake again, but my campsite that I had last night was taken, so I relocated. Now I'm just settling in with some chips and salsa. I'm gonna call that a wrap for this week. It's been an interesting week. I've had some ups and downs, had amazing experiences, and I got some beautiful footage. When I was out kayaking at the beach, I came back to find this note underneath my windshield. It's from Justin in North Carolina, and it reads, "Keep up all the great content, and thanks for sharing with us. It really inspires me to get out and have an adventure myself." This is what keeps me going, above all else. So thank you, Justin, and thank you everyone for following along. Shout out to James for getting my sway bar going again, and I'll see you all next week.